This is the council meeting for October 11, 2023 in the council chambers. Presiding officer of the council, Milady Tejeda, wishes to advise the audience that notice of this meeting has been filed with the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and posted on the bulletin board in the city clerk's office and on the city's website, indicating that today's meeting is being held in the council chambers right after the caucus and closed session at 260 High Street. Right now is 7:55. We had a presentation, well, no, we need,
No, that's.
I haven't finished yet. Council President did, as a courtesy of the governing body, I will ask all individuals present, including members of the audience, to please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. Should you need to make a telephone call, please go out into the hallway and speak in a low voice so as not to disturb the ongoing meeting. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Present.
Councilwoman Morales? Absent. Councilman Puccio?
Present.
Councilman Torres?
Present.
Council President Tejeda?
Present. Let's stand for the invocation. Dear Lord, please watch over this governing body. Please provide us with the wisdom and the knowledge to just help our residents, our city, and to do the right thing for them. I also want to pray for those that are in a war right now, and please protect our troops wherever they're at, away or here in town, and also their family. Protect our children, and with that, I say amen. Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we had a presentation earlier and the topic of discussion. Ordinance, public hearing, 5 minutes maximum per speaker per ordinance. An ordinance of the City of Perth Amboy County of Middlesex, New Jersey, authorizing the acquisition of the property designated on the tax maps on the City of Perth Amboy as Block 127, Lot 16, commonly known as 333 High Street, for public purposes pursuant to NJSA 48, column 12-5, and NJSA 20, column 3-1. I need a motion
Move it.
to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's open. Whoever wants to speak on this? Anybody? Seeing none, I need a motion to close the,
No.
oh. Go ahead.
Who owns the property now? 10 Battle 359 Brook Avenue.
It's a property I can find.
The Methodist Church, the Simpson Methodist Church,
Okay. That's what we do with the clock, right?
the Clock Tower Church, yeah.
Anybody else? Seeing none, I need a motion to close public.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to adopt.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Agenda, public comment. Citizen may address the council on any matter on the agenda which does not have its own scheduled public hearing. Citizen shall permitted to speak once for a maximum of 5 minutes. I need a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
10 Battle 359 Brook Avenue. 512, says you read the annual report. I just looked in there and it says you're supposed to read the comments and everything else that's in there, and you had read it, but they're not in the book. So how's the public supposed to know what you read? I mean, technically, you're supposed to read it. Shouldn't the public have to read it or know about it? Okay. It's another thing. Open and transparent. It's not rocket science to put that stuff out. All right. Illegal housing. said there was 12 houses found in legal housing in 5. I believe this council should check out those houses. Because the problem is here, nobody checks the permits. We've been taxing two-family houses, and you ask for the permits for the house when they changed it? There's no such things. I think you wanted to add a house down my block. It's a two-family house, they want to put a house next to it. So I opened all the addresses, all the permits. No permits to turn it into a second house. Two-family, three-family. There's no permits. So how is it allowed to continue to happen? How does it allow to continue to happen? There's no permits, and you basically can see they turned it into a two-family or three-family. Now, I believe you voted, I don't know whether or not Brook Avenue, about the city, I took pictures of it, cleaning up grass in front of the telephone pole. It's amazing how that, but they didn't see the cut in the road because there's a driveway on both sides of the telephone pole in one house. They didn't see that. So they seen the grass, but the cut in the road, and where did you get, how did anybody ever get a permit to cut a driveway around a telephone pole? So this is what happens with code enforcement. It's see no evil. They want the public to turn you in, then you make you look like a fool because, oh, there's nothing there. Easily can be checked as permits to make it a two-family. Now, the question is, there's 12 of them there. They found illegal housing in 5. What about the other 7? Did anybody check to see if it permits to do the work that was in the house? And that's what's happening. These 25-foot houses that were put on that footprint, all of them had washer and dryers and areas put in the back. Rocket science. They closed the garage right away, and you got a bedroom in the back. And we have allowed it to happen and continue to happen. And it's getting worse now because they're putting rooms here and rooms there. And somebody's going to die. And some smart lawyer is going to come in here and say, wait a minute, where's the permit? You've been in and out of that house how many times? And where's the permits to change it? Where's the permit to put the driveway in? Where's the permit to do that? Not there. And the lawyers, what's the lawyer going to say? Oh, hey, I didn't know anything about it. And he turns a blind eye. Well, that's the question. You have 12 here right now. Let's check them to see if there was any more violations or where the permits were and why these people called or whoever called. That's what needs to be done. It needs to be a follow-up of what's going on. Because that's what's happening. We're 29%, I'm sure it's less, of owner-occupied houses here. So LLCs and everybody else doing it, making money on treating people like garbage. But we're always here for the poor. I love that. But you know what? Nobody cares about the poor. They don't care about it. Your friends donate money, and they get a two-family house, and it continues and goes and goes and goes. And it's getting worse. Until something in Plainfield or Oranges or whatever, and it continues to happen. And you know what? Nobody does anything about it. Somewhere you got to stop and start. It's not rocket science to go down the block and take a look. I can drive down my block, and I'll tell you right now, there's an attic, air conditioning still in the house, and then there's cable or some other wire out through the front. How does code enforcement don't see that? It's amazing they seen my hedges that I don't own when they came and they wanted to harass me after I talked. But they don't see that air conditioner, or they don't see the cable in there, or the extra box. They don't see that. Well, you're going to bankrupt the city one day because that's what's going to happen. And it should be criminal neglect because you're allowing it to happen.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day and a better tomorrow.
You too. Anybody else? Seeing none, I need a motion to close
Move
public
it.
comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports, PK O'Connor Davis submitted the report of audit for years ended December 31st, 2022 and 2021. Fallon Barczewski, tax collector, submitted the monthly report of collections for September 2023. New Jersey of Taxation submitted the 2023 certification of the Table of Equalized valuations. Ordinance, first reading, no public discussion. An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled an ordinance designated restricted parking space for use by handicapped person ordinance number 380-85, an amendment adopted July 2nd, 1985, also known as Chapter 255A of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy, and this is about addition and deletion. I need a motion.
Move.
Second.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Number two, an ordinance to establish the honorary naming of Dorothy Street as Tyrone Fascio Way. I need a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. Right, look through the resolution if you want to pull anything.
511.
5, 11. Anything else? Okay, so the consent agenda is R 499, 499 through R 510, R 512 through R 517. I need a motion.
Move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yes.
Councilman Torres?
Yes.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. R 511, 1023, rescinding R 486, 923, and reauthorizing the acceptance of an award from the state of New Jersey through the Department of Community Affairs for the Neighborhood Preservation Program, NPP, fiscal year 2023 NPP-ARP grant in the amount of $668,538. I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes.
Councilman Puccio?
Yeah.
Councilman Torres?
No.
Council President Tejeda?
Yes. All right. Go to the public portion, 5 minutes maximum per speaker. Opening to the public, I need a motion.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ken Bowles, 359 Brook Avenue. On that audit, is there anywhere about the $16 million given out wrongly or anything else like that under the audit? Anything?
I didn't see it.
No. So, we had an audit, and they talked about $16 million that we got, but, and the auditors didn't care about where the money was spent or anything else.
Let me address that, and if you can pull it up on, one thing I can say, there was one issue, I don't have it in front of me, it was the spending of, it was for fire equipment. They said we put it in the wrong category of everything that they reviewed. And it was, I don't know if it was the 36,000. We put it under the category of, and again, I don't
I
have
have
the
it right in
report.
front of me. I can
All
give
right,
you the exact
I'll
name.
go over that. Give me time. All right. Now we got the city employee that there was an assault on a police officer and whatever is supported. Their problem is we're supporting police and seeing what's happening. And that's a serious problem if our city employees act like that, especially when they're now working with the public and everything else like that. Now, according to Voss, whoever said it, he's working for campaigns. Now, we have the Assembly Speaker who's up for election. Does this guy work for the Assembly Speaker and our Representative Lopez? So the question is here, and you know because you worked on your campaigns. So the question is here, this is what to respect. Do we have an Assembly Speaker having somebody that assaulted a police officer? I mean, this is an election. This is what people's character and everything's supposed to be based on. And what's the character when something like that happens? I've heard the council sit there and talk to the police department about loud music and quality of life issues and stuff. Well, when that was happening, was that quality of life issues? Was that the way a city employee should act? Just like I brought up about a broker who comes in here and cut off sweats and a sweatshirt. Is that how we're supposed to be representative at a meeting? Is that how that's supposed to be? And that's the problem. We're downgrading everything that happens in this town. We're not upgrading, we're downgrading. We took $16 million and what are we doing? Can anybody tell you what the best thing we did for that $16.5 million is? See, that's what I said, you advise. It's like deer in headlights. You don't talk anymore. The problem is the public is supposed to know and hear what's going on. That's your job, not having the meetings on the side, come here, vote yes, and everything else like that. Your job is to inform the public, just like the rent control. If you can send out letters about votes and getting votes and stuff like that, you can notify people if their rent goes up and all the issues that goes on and stuff like that. This is not rocket science to doing that. I wish I got elected and had $16 million at the time. We were so broke we were squeezing pennies. Mr. Feuerbach cried every time he had to spend a penny. And he did. But now, it's like we'll spend $37,000 for what? Chairs? So you can have a conference room so you're more comfortable? People in this town, you can put 3 houses, 4 houses, 5 houses together, don't have $37,000 worth of furniture. But you vote on it like that. Because it's not your money. They don't want to use it, would spend $37,000 for a conference or a table or a dining room table in your own house. Not one of you. But for the mayor, so he's more comfortable in his staff, you would spend $37,000 like it's nothing. That's what the problem is, and it's got to stop. The character of the people you hire, the character of the people that work for the city. What's going on in Jersey City right now? They hired a guy that was arrested for taking bribes, and he was a contractor. That's the problem. You recycle these people after whatever they do, they bring them back, and you think it stops? So we're going to let this keep on rolling and keep on happening, and you're going to allow it to happen, and you're going to close your eyes. It's time to stop and get the character back for employees and the way people and respect for police officers. You want them to do a job, but you don't want to give them any respect. There's more people in City Hall sticking up for that city employee than for the police officer. That should be investigated by the Attorney General.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Just a note, in the audit, they recommended that the fire equipment that was mentioned, it was listed in the category for public sector capacity effective service delivery. It should have been listed under, or they recommended that it be listed under spending on government services. So that was the one recommendation made in the audit regarding the ARPA funds.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Hi,
Council. 2 events just to advertise this Friday is our open house, 5:30 at Fire Headquarters. I think everybody saw it on social media, but invite the family, spread the word. If you're out there on Instagram or Facebook, just put it out there. Also on Thursday, the 19th, from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, we're doing a blood drive at the firehouse as well. So if there's any family members, friends, share the flyer. I think we only had like 7 people committed so far, so they got to pre-register. They can pick a time slot to give blood, but it's the first time we're doing it since COVID hit, so it's a good thing. We're partnering up hopefully with the hospital. They're advertising it there, and it's all over social media. Third thing, because it came up earlier, I didn't speak, but our Fire Prevention Bureau, we work very closely with the Bureau of Housing Inspectors, the state. So Kevin Metz has a very direct line. So as they're inspecting properties, if they find any violations for fire hazards, they let us know. And if we find properties that are not registered with the BHI, we let them know. So in whatever town something happened, I don't know if the connections were made, but ever since we took over fire prevention 3 years ago, we work hand in hand and making sure every 3 family and up gets that inspection and is regularly inspected by the BHI. So to prevent anything from like that from happening here. So we're on very much so on top of apartment buildings in town. Just want to make sure we do that.
Okay, Councilman Puccio
I have
has
a question for you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
So who does the boarding houses? Who does the boarding houses?
Well, the state inspects those and Fire Prevention Bureau also inspects those.
So if there was a boarding house, right, you guys would be doing it.
Right, legal
Fire
boarding
prevention.
houses.
Right, a legal boarding.
Legal, yes. And if we find something else, we have to report that right to the state. Same thing, if we find a three-family that was never registered, we have to report that to the state.
And I guess to the best of your knowledge, I'm not gonna quote you on it, I think there's 13 of them.
Yeah, I researched that. I forget the exact number off the top of my
I
head,
think
but
it's
that was
13.
legal boarding houses registered with the state.
And that would, but is the Remington considered a boarding house?
I believe
or-
so.
And the Madison, I think.
That as
And
well.
the rooms that are above bars.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I can
think
get,
the
I can,
Flatiron-
I can get a list.
Flatiron
I can get a list of the actual registered ones, and I'll send it to Mr. Green. He can forward it, but yeah, they're very strictly registered, the legal ones. And as we do inspections, if we see anything, we contact code enforcement right away. We have a very good relationship with code enforcement, but we're doing our part with code enforcement and everybody to identify it. And like I said, there's a lot of properties in town, but the ones that we get to inspect, which is three families up every year, that's why you're seeing a major decrease in the larger fires. We're able to get these inspections, making sure people are, where they're supposed to be living, and they have working smoke alarms and everything like that. So as far as that goes, we're in very good hands with fire prevention.
Thank you very much.
And I think safety is like the main concern. I talk a lot about unsafe houses, illegal houses, and it's not so much to penalize the owners, it's to make sure that the residents are safe. And that is the outcome that we want, is to have a safer community. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. Seeing none, I need a motion to
Move it.
close public session. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Council comments, Councilwoman Cruz?
Yes, and thank you to the fire department for going into the schools and talking about fire prevention safety with our kids. I think it's crucial, especially at a young age, for them to share that information with their parents and for them to be exposed. And hopefully, they do come out to the open house and they do come out to the city events as well, that we'll do our job making sure we post that as well, or share it in any capacity. And then in regards to mayoral citation, thank you, Councilman Puccio, for shedding light on such a beautiful humanitarian effort, and congratulations to Ms. Vicky Halifko Weber, I think, and the entire team, because as she said, it was a team who worked together to raise funds. So that's it. Have a good night, and I know we had prayers earlier, just prayers in general. There's a lot going on in this world, in our town, just continuous prayers for peace.
Thank you. Councilman Puccio?
No, I'm good.
Thank you. Councilman
I-
Torres?
I really don't have any comments tonight. I just want to state up for the next meeting, the 25th, I would like to finally have that, the para presentation. Yeah, I tried to have it back in the springtime, but it's been bumped up, so, I'd like to have the presentation about, past projects and current projects. That's all. Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight, and all the ones who participated. I also commend Mr. Puccio for bringing over Vicky and her crew and everything that they have done for that child. So I appreciate when anyone presents their humanitarian part of their emotions and everything. So it's a nice way of presenting themselves and tell everybody who they are. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the participation, and I need a motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.